A shepherd's courage is often underestimated. Facing down a giant is a true test of bravery. The sun beat down on the valley, casting long shadows over the battlefield. Two armies stood ready, their fates hanging in the balance. One army had a giant named Goliath. He was enormous, towering over everyone. His armor gleamed in the sunlight, and his spear was as large as a weaver's beam. He scared everyone with his size and strength. The other army had David, a young shepherd. He wasn't scared, he had faith. David wasn't a soldier, he was just a boy who tended sheep. But he had something more powerful than any weapon: his unwavering belief in God. David was there to bring food to his brothers who were soldiers in the army. He carried a simple basket of bread and cheese, unaware that his life was about to change forever. But when he saw Goliath, he knew he had to do something. The giant's taunts echoed through the valley, challenging anyone to face him. Goliath was making fun of God and the Israelites. His voice boomed as he mocked them, instilling fear in their hearts. David couldn't let that happen. He felt a surge of courage and knew he had to defend his faith and his people. With nothing but a sling and a few stones, he stepped forward to face the giant, ready to prove that true strength comes from within. Faith over fear. David's unwavering belief. David, a young shepherd boy, was known for his courage and faith. Despite his youth, he had a heart full of bravery and a spirit that was unshakable. He spent his days tending to his father's sheep, protecting them from wild animals and ensuring their safety. His life was simple, yet it was filled with moments that tested his faith and built his character. One day, a giant warrior named Goliath challenged the Israelites. David, without hesitation, volunteered to fight Goliath. His decision was met with shock and disbelief from those around him. They couldn't understand how a young boy could stand up to such a formidable opponent. Everyone thought he was crazy. They saw a mere boy, inexperienced in battle, and doubted his ability to defeat the giant. But David was not deterred by their disbelief. He had a secret weapon that was far more powerful than any sword or shield. He was just a boy, yet his heart was filled with a faith that was unshakable. David knew that his strength did not come from his own abilities, but from his unwavering belief in God. He had faced dangers before and had always come out victorious because he trusted in the Lord. But David knew God was with him. He remembered the times when he had protected his sheep from lions and bears. Those experiences had taught him that with God on his side, nothing was impossible. His confidence was not in his own strength, but in the power of God. He had seen God protect his sheep from lions and bears. These encounters had strengthened his faith and prepared him for the battle ahead. David was not afraid because he knew that the same God who had helped him in the past would help him again. David told King Saul, "The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." His words were filled with conviction and faith. He believed that God would deliver him from the giant, just as he had delivered him from the wild animals. David's faith was strong. It was this faith that gave him the courage to face Goliath. He knew that the battle was not his, but the Lord's. His trust in God was unwavering, and it was this trust that made him fearless in the face of danger. He knew God was bigger than any giant. David's story is a powerful reminder that faith can overcome fear, and that with God all things are possible. His unwavering belief in God not only gave him the strength to face Goliath, but also inspired those around him to believe in the power of faith. Scriptures embrace finding strength in God's Word. The Bible is full of stories about faith. We read about people like Moses, Esther, and Daniel. They all faced big challenges, but they trusted God, and God gave them the courage to overcome their fears. God's Word promises, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. This verse reminds us, God is always with us. Our Goliaths today, facing modern-day challenges. We all face giants in our lives. Maybe it's a sickness, a job loss, or a relationship problem. These giants can seem scary. They can make us feel small and afraid. But remember David, he was facing a real giant. And he didn't give in to fear. He held on to his faith. And because of his faith, he was victorious. Steps of faith, overcoming fear in our lives. Fear is a powerful emotion that can paralyze us, hold us back, and prevent us from living the life we are meant to live. But just like David faced Goliath with unwavering faith, we too can overcome our fears. So how can we be more like David? How can we find the strength to face our giants, those overwhelming fears that seem insurmountable? How can we overcome our fears? The answer lies in our faith and our relationship with God. First, we need to trust in God. Trusting in God means believing that He is always with us, guiding us and protecting us. It means having faith that He has a plan for us even when we can't see it. We need to believe that He is bigger than our problems. No matter how big our fears may seem, God is bigger. He is more powerful than any obstacle we face. We need to remember His promises. The Bible is filled with God's promises to us, promises of love, protection, and guidance. When we remember these promises, we can find the strength to face our fears. Second, we need to pray. Prayer is our direct line of communication with God. It is through prayer that we can express our fears, ask for His help, and find comfort in His presence. We need to ask God for help. He is always ready to listen and to provide the strength and courage we need to overcome our fears. He wants to help us. God is our loving Father, and just like any parent, He wants to see us succeed and be happy. And third, we need to have courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. It is the strength to take that first step, even when we are afraid. We need to step out in faith, even when we're afraid. By trusting in God, praying for His help, and having the courage to act, we can overcome our fears and live the life He has planned for us. The power within faith's triumphant call. David's story teaches us that anything is possible with God. When we have faith, we can overcome any obstacle. We can defeat any giant. Fear tries to hold us back, but faith sets us free. Remember, God doesn't always take away our problems, but He always gives us the strength to face them. He gives us the courage to keep going. BookiBiblically embraces the journey to guide your path. In facing your giants, we explore the power of faith in overcoming life's obstacles. Packed with inspiring stories and practical advice, this channel will equip you to identify and confront your giants, discover the strength and courage that reside within you, Experience the transformative power of faith in your life. Subscribe to BookiBiblically today and embark on a journey of faith, courage, and victory. A final word: courage for the journey ahead. We may not all face literal giants, but we all face challenges. And in those moments we have a choice. We can give in to fear, or we can choose faith. We can choose courage. The choice is ours. Choose faith, choose courage, and watch God do amazing things in your life. He is with you every step of the way. Share to others, and God bless you.